Hello, my name is Monica Aguiar, and I'm with Team 4. And today we'd like to present to you a cohesive family benefits plan that will truly benefit your company and the majority of your workforce, regardless of the industry that you're in. So as we know, 2020 was a big year for many companies that had, struggled financially, had to really keep up with a lot of CDC guidelines as they were happening live to keep their employees and their workforce safe. With that being said, many employees had to really make their homes their workplaces. And those employees were required to work from home. It was easier to be with their loved ones, and it really improved their work-life balance. But now, as we start to return to a new normal and companies begin to look into how that transition back into the office will affect their staff, the benefits that we have presented to you today will make for a smooth transition and ease the nerves from the workforce as it pertains to the care of their loved ones, whether that be a child, a senior, or a pet. So with that said, our cohesive family benefit plan will include 3 different services: childcare, senior care, and fur family benefit. These 3 different plans would be an a la carte mode where, depending on the company or industry that you're in, you choose between these 3 benefits which ones you would like to provide and what you would like to provide within each one of them. And the employee also has the option of choosing what benefit they would like to opt into. So just because we offer all 3 doesn't mean that your employee will need all 3. They might just need 1 or maybe 2 out of the 3 and can really make their own plan with what the options entail. So the childcare, just as it seems, will provide more work flexibility beyond company norms for working parents, where we'll provide after school programs and tutoring assistance for those eligible employees to have more time back in their day so that they're able to make a smooth transition back to the office. And according to a study conducted by Childcare Aware of America, half of working parents miss an average of 4 days of work every 6 months because of emergency childcare situations. So that will definitely improve the productivity there for those working parents. And senior care will provide an extended senior family benefits to employees in addition to the FMLA benefits that we know of. That will provide assistance to help care for the employer's senior dependent. I mean, senior care is one of really the most important because, kids and pets are optional, but everyone is going to have to take care of some sort of elderly person to attend to or take care of at some point in their life. And then lastly, for family benefits, 67% of households report having a family pet. So with that being said, this is definitely something that will also benefit any company because it'll provide coverage for employees for family during business hours, for vet care and emergency services. And, depending on, again, the type of industry that you're in, you can build your plan as you see fit, whether, if you're in manufacturing, maybe pets in the workplace might not be the best idea, but if you're an accounting firm, it might be a good idea to have, a pet-friendly working environment because it could truly reduce stress for your employees and just create a more productive, happy, healthy environment.
All right, so my name is Brittany. I'm also part of Team 4, and today I'm going to be talking about the qualifications, eligibility, and process for these plans. So to start off, when determining how the plans would be structured, we definitely took into consideration the FMLA for children, retirement for senior care, and overall benefits for the pet plan. Some qualifications for a child care plan would be that the child must be between the ages of 12 weeks and 13 years old. This is because parents typically are back at the workforce after their FMLA leave, which is 12 weeks, and therefore will alleviate the stress of who will take care of their child once returning to work. A study conducted by Child Care of America in 2017 showed that child care services is one of the most expensive monthly expenses for parents, and by companies providing child care services, It would decrease the amount of women leaving the workforce after maternity leave, and once again, alleviate the worry and stress of how they'll be able to afford those expenses. Another qualification that is important to touch upon is that children must be a dependent of the employee's medical plan. This is to ensure that the child is in fact related to the employee and therefore under their care. This will help the HR department with employees trying to get benefits for unqualified children, for example, nieces, friends' children, and things like that. We definitely want to make sure that the company is being protected in that sense. Some qualifications for senior care is that senior dependent must be 65 years or older. This is due to the fact that retirement age begins at 65 years, and that is when an individual begins to leave the workforce, and therefore in some cases needing to be cared for by a family member, which goes into the next qualification of requiring a doctor's note explaining necessary care to the company. This also ensures that the senior family member is receiving the correct care and services for their needs. A survey conducted in 2011 showed that 1 in 6 Americans working full-time or part-time jobs reporting assisting with the care of an elderly or disabled family member. So it's very important that, we definitely see a need for senior care amongst our workforce. And similar to child care, this plan will alleviate the stress and financial burden that comes with caring for a family member. And finally, our most unique plan, our FUR family plan, is pretty straightforward since it is one of the most unique family plans on our benefits list. Qualifications include providing up-to-date veterinarian records or sales contract paperwork to show proof of ownership, as well as a photo of the pet. And this is, to ensure that only dogs and cats are, being considered at this time for this benefit. Across the board, the eligibility is identical to keep it simple for all parties, as well as the process being streamlined throughout the HR process. The process includes having employees fill out an application for the desired plan and submitting the necessary paperwork to support their request. So another thing that we thought was really important when it came to developing these programs and benefits was how do companies now actually implement a new policy, guideline, and benefit. And we found that 3 top companies are actually implementing these programs now and have been very successful. So as you can see, again, large international companies have already started integrating these benefits to improve their employee culture and support their teams both in the office and in their personal lives. So to start off, in 2020, Fidelity Investments started offering working parents more time to deal with unexpected life events and gave access to expert care coordinators and healthcare providers for their children. In addition to all of this, employees received reimbursements and enhanced access to child care services, which included educational resources such as tutors and nannies. While Johnson & Johnson promoting to consumers how they are a family company, they definitely made sure that their working environment made the same level of care and support as their consumers. This is why Johnson & Johnson started offering caregiving programs to its employees free of charge. These services provided geriatric care and situational assessments to relieve the burden of appointments for their loved ones. And finally, Progressive has been ahead of the game when it came to implementing innovative benefits to their employees. Back in 2009, Progressive partnered with Best Pets in order to help employees with any veterinarian costs they acquire for their fur family. So as you can see, again, overall, these companies have been able to get a high reputation amongst their employees and created a culture that was centered around not only giving back to the community, but to their employees as well.
Hi everyone, this is Christina speaking. So when determining how these plans will create a long-term benefit for the company, it's important to consider both the pros and cons of the potential effects on the organization. So when looking at the overall positives for these plans, we identified the following. So adding the child, elder, and pet care will ultimately increase the employees' morale, retention, and productivity, while also improving their work-life balance. The employee will be able to focus on their responsibilities at work, knowing that their loved ones are taken care of. As employees' stress will be reduced, the company culture and office atmosphere will improve significantly. To properly determine the effects of these benefits, we also need to acknowledge the challenges that may present themselves and how the HR department will need to tackle them. So we foresee a potential challenge being that the HR department may have to hire additional employees or reallocate responsibilities to existing employees in order to compensate for the additional workload that will be brought on by the 3 new benefits. Another potential challenge could be any backlash from the employee population that won't qualify for any of the 3 plans. They may feel a degree of unfairness, and the company might decide not to adopt the benefits based on this potential. The difficulties faced concerning the eligibility of employees and their dependents may pose a challenge to the adoption of these plans, as HR will have to determine if any exclusions apply in certain circumstances that may be presented, such as the adoption of a child that is not yet under the legal custody of the employee. Finally, HR will need to creatively and strategically advertise these benefits in order to convince employees to leave their current methods of child, elder, or pet care and switch over to our company benefit for those services. Overall, we believe that a need for one or more of these benefits is sufficient reason for employees to decide to enroll, since the benefits outweigh the challenges for the employee. Now that we've sort of acknowledged some of the pros and potential cons, we're able to better identify how this implementation will internally align with a company's goals and objectives, which will put them at a competitive advantage with their external competitors. So the adoption of these a la carte care services will communicate to the employees that the company is taking a stand to promote their work-life balance. This will internally align the organization because employees will be able to focus on their work responsibilities, knowing that their loved ones are guaranteed to be taken care of, giving them a sense of peace. Externally, the company will be advertising to the talent pool how they have taken this innovative approach to benefits and implemented it to ensure the care and protection of their employees' loved ones. So a company that implements these plans will actually stand out, as they'll be offering more than just the big 3 insurance plans of medical, dental, and vision. So here are some things that the HR department needs to consider to properly communicate this initiative to their team. Are these benefits going to have the impact that they're intended to have? This is where we look at other companies that have implemented these plans to determine their rate of success. By completing this research, a company should be able to determine the impact. How will the company get employees to see the value of using their benefit plans against their own external plan? The most convincing argument we could pose is that group-based benefits can generally be obtained at a lower rate than if employees were to act on their own. This will create savings in the long run, as employees will be able to select the plans that best suit their needs. Will the company contribute to these plans, or will it be the sole responsibility of the employee? In this case, the HR department will have to work closely on their budget with the finance department to ensure that they're making a decision that they'll be financially able to support. So if they find that the company will be able to contribute to this plan, it would pose as an incentive to the employees, similar to a company matching 401k contributions. How will the HR department effectively communicate these benefits to their employees to ensure a high participation rate during enrollment? HR will need to ensure that the plans that are being implemented accurately reflect the needs of their employees. They'll need to do their due diligence in surveying their employee population to determine the effectiveness that these plans will serve. The survey will be the first introduction to these benefits. Then, as the company is ready to roll them out before open enrollment, employees should receive a 1-page or so flyer in their email inbox and in the mail at home. Just that will give a summary of information for the benefits that will be available to them. So we sincerely appreciate the time that you've taken to listen to this presentation, and we're looking forward to partnering together to continue the conversation and promote these care services together.